So I did a thing. That's right. I did the carnivore diet for 100 days, starting September 1st until December 2nd, which is 100 days. And I will show you my results at the end of this video. But first, let's talk about it. So a lot of people are like, why did you do the carnivore diet, Chris? I get this all the time. Why are you eating this? Why are you eating that? Why aren't you eating any carbs? I'll tell you why. Because I've been struggling with weight ever since high school. I mean, I've got pictures I can show you of my heaviest. I can show you pictures of my lightest. I think I have some pictures. Yeah, there's one. So I'm like, you know what? I've been on and off with weight. I'm trying to figure out a good diet or something to keep myself lean. And, you know, I am 50 years old. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm 21 years old again. I'm 50 years old. I'm trying to keep myself healthy, do whatever I can to maintain a nice longevity of my life, I guess. So I decided to try the carnivore diet. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to beat around the bush. It wasn't exactly 100% carnivore diet. I mean, there's people out there that say the carnivore diet is only beef, salt, and water. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing just beef, salt, and water. I tried doing that for a couple days, and I found, for my own opinion, I was just like, you know what, this is kind of bland. Wasn't really, something I wanted to keep going with. So I added spice. I added some, obviously, other proteins and stuff like that into the diet. So I'm like, you know what, we're going to keep going. So I kept going. Now, during the 100 days of doing this carnivore diet, which wasn't 100% carnivore, I'll touch on that in a second, I did work out every day. I had a routine. It wasn't huge, like sit in the gym or sit in the workout room for, hours on end. No, it was a basic everyday routine, change up my whatever muscles I was working on, and the workout was probably maybe at the most maybe a half an hour long each time I did it. Also, when I started doing the diet, I started it Labor Day, which is September 1st, and it was still kind of warm out, so I did a lot of walking and stuff like that. And as the months got colder, the walking stopped, but I maintained the diet and kept working out and all that stuff. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the carnivore diet. All right. Let's talk about what my carnivore diet consisted of. First, I'll take a drink of something that is not included in the carnivore diet. That's right. This is alcohol. Now, I did a few people were asking me after I posted pictures of whatever and talking about the carnivore diet, were asking me if I was drinking any beer or anything like that. I said, obviously no, because beers have a lot of carbs in beers and stuff like that. So I didn't have any beer. What I do drink is, I don't even have a can here. There is low calorie, or not even low calorie, but low carb drinks like bucket seltzers. Like, I don't know, I'm drinking like maybe a Neutral or a White Claw or the Cottage Springs vodka waters. Cottage Springs vodka waters are actually zero carb, which is awesome, but doesn't matter. The point is, you're not supposed to really be drinking alcohol on a carnivore diet, but you know what? Come on, you gotta have fun once in a while, right? So that was where I was touching a little bit of carbs. Like, these drinks are coming in at one gram of carb. By the time I'm finished talking this sentence, I've probably already burned that carb out. Anyway, I did keep myself in ketosis from the very beginning, but I'm going off track right now. I did have that alcohol or whatever, and it is what it is. Did I have any fruit or vegetables? At the very beginning, when I was doing a lot of ground beef and eggs for lunches and stuff like that, that would bring to work, I would add a little bit of salsa to kind of spice up the food a little bit. I got off of that now because it was unnecessary. And that salsa had maybe 1 or 2 grams of carbs in it. So I kept myself under way under like 10 grams of carbs per day. That's what I basically was doing. It's basically keto, but my diet didn't consist of fruits and vegetables. The only time I would ever have anything like that was at the very beginning when I was adding salsa to my ground beef and my eggs, hard-boiled eggs. But I stopped doing that, and I just didn't even touch vegetables or fruit at all. And that was that diet. And the diet consists of, like I said already, ground beef, hard-boiled eggs, butter, steak, tons of steak. Oh my God. And I'm not talking about going to the grocery store and buying like packs of steaks already pre-cut. No, you gotta think logically and think money-wise, because if you do that, you're gonna go broke. The carnivore diet is actually very cost-effective if you do it the right way. Me being a single dad that doesn't really have to feed a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old daughter anymore, and she can go out and buy her own food. But what we do have dinner, stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, but I would go out and buy roasts, cut them up into steaks, ground up some beef, all that kind of stuff, and and be smart. Go to Costco a lot. You guys have seen Costco videos, I think, that I've posted on my other social media stuff. So besides the steak, I did incorporate chicken, lots of chicken thighs, chicken breasts, a little bit of lamb. I'm not a huge lamb fan, but it is what it is. And then for the first, in this 100 days, I think, quick math, in the first maybe 50 days, I didn't touch cheese at all. I didn't touch any dairy. I didn't touch any dairy because I had a little bit of inflammation in my hands. I felt it when I was at work. I was like, my hands are hurting me constantly. So I cut out dairy for like 50 days. And then I started bringing dairy back in after my inflammation had gone, which was awesome because it was gone within 30 days. Easy. And I was like, you know what? I was at a Halloween party. And I was like, I'm gonna have some cheese. There's a charcuterie board there and stuff like that with a whole bunch of kielbasa and prosciutto, and there's cheese there. I'm like, I'm gonna try having some cheese. So I had some cheese, and actually it hasn't really affected my hands. Like, my hands don't feel any inflammation or anything like that. My joints aren't hurting or anything like that. So cheese is back in my diet, and I like cheese. You can't have a carnivore pizza without cheese. I know, but what else was in the diet besides booze and meats and dairy and protein? Bacon was in there, sausages, lots of sausages, especially those breakfast sausages, kielbasas in the diet and stuff like that. Basically, a lot of high protein, high fat food was in my diet for the 100-day challenge, and yeah, it was good. I mean, you change it up, you can get kind of sick of doing the same thing every day, but I'll tell you one thing: when you fry up some ground beef and you make it awesome with seasonings and all that kind of stuff, and then you add some hard-boiled eggs to it, and then you add some, lots of salt and stuff like that, it's actually really good. When you're hungry, it's actually really good. What else did I do during the 100-day challenge on this carnivore diet? I walked. Like I told you at the beginning of the video, I went for walks. I would walk around the block about an hour a day, especially when I was on afternoon shift. On day shift, I wouldn't walk every day, depending on the weather and how tired I was from work, because when you work, you don't want to walk after, because you're walking all day at work. Afternoon shift, I would walk almost every day. It was that good. So I do have another channel. It's Off the 10th Beer Reviews. And I hadn't had any beer for the entire challenge. And spoiler alert, I still haven't had any. I don't know if I'm going to go back to doing that channel. I don't know if I'm going to introduce beer carbs to my diet. I haven't decided yet. If I do any beer reviews, I might just take a sip or two and that's it. But I kind of I don't even want to go there. I feel so good right now on this diet that I don't think I need to introduce anything unnecessary to my body, because to be honest with you, I'm actually kind of afraid what introducing a ton of carbs and all that stuff into my system is going to do to my body, because it feels fucking awesome right now. So Labor Day was September 1st. The day before that, at the end of August, my brother and I went to a brewery, and we had beers, we had chicken wings, we had, which is another good thing on a carnivore diet, but we had chicken wings, we had pizza, we had apps, we had everything. We just went all out, because I knew the next day I was starting this diet, and that was the last time I had a pizza. I haven't had pizza, I haven't had bread, popcorn, I haven't had anything that I would normally snack, a bag of chips, nothing, for 100 days, and actually more than 100 days. But do I miss it? I don't know. I don't know if I miss it. I can see commercials on TV, pizza commercials, burger commercials, bags of chips, Lay's, Frito-Lay's, all that stuff, and I'm just like, do I miss it? I don't know. I don't know if I miss it more than I would be like, oh, if I had that, I wouldn't be able to stop having it. Especially with ice cream, because ice cream is a huge thing for me. If I could have ice cream every day, I would. So with this diet, I wanted to tell you guys that it's not a very difficult diet to do. It really is an easy diet. And to get started with it, I was like, you know what, I'm watching my TikTok and scrolling through, and then this thing came up, the carnivore diet came up. A lot of people were doing it, and it kind of intrigued me, and it kind of made me think, you know what, I could probably do this. I could probably just eat meat, fat, and be okay with it. You got to make some sacrifices with all your carbs and stuff like that, but I was like, you know what, I think I can probably do this. So then I started following some people online who are on their TikToks and on their YouTubes and stuff like that. I'll give a list of people. I'll probably tag them in this video too. They're like Ken Berry, medical doctor. He's one. He's a big influence. Sean Baker is a huge influence. He actually wrote the book called The Carnivore Diet. There's a ton of out of the carnivore diet books out there right now, but he was the original writer of the book, and kind of been my inspiration. The guy's like 58 years old, and the guy's built like a tank. There's a whole bunch of other people on there. I'll link them down in the description of who I follow online, just to get some advice. And I follow a bunch of now. And now I feel like I'm following a bunch of Facebook groups and stuff like that who are very supportive when it comes down to the carnivore diet, because I'll be honest with you, when people see you lose weight and they don't actually remember what you looked like back in high school as skinny, I mean, I've lost my hair and stuff like that, but when they think you look sick, and we'll talk about that in a second, but it's groups like that make the diet a whole lot easier, because there's people on there saying, I'm kind of struggling, I don't know what to do. They're asking questions of what you can add to a carnivore diet. There are people asking what you can do and have, and it's a very supportive group, because it's not like people are like, you can't do that, get out of here, go find somewhere else to hang out or whatever. No, everyone is very supportive on the carnivore diet, especially in the groups like that. But so when going back to not looking like you normally do, or what you're supposed to do, I'll give you a perfect example. My father came over yesterday with his wife, and she looked at me and said, I can't even look at you because you're so skinny, it makes me sick. Well, guess what? I was skinny before. My dad knows it. My dad saw me in back in the day when I was actually skinny and super athletic and doing everything. He's not really surprised at the way I look. But a lot of people, you get that kind of reaction to. They're wondering, are you sick? Are you okay? You got some kind of disease? Whatever? No, I don't. I'm 100% fine. I feel freaking fantastic. And the thing is, though, these people have never seen you look skinny, and skinny is the way, and lean and in shape, and that's the way I want to be. I mean, it's awesome. It feels great. So I've rambled on about this diet and kind of wanted to talk about it and actually just say that it's a very easy diet to be on. If you want to call it a diet, it's more of a lifestyle change. It's basically eating properly, and people are going to be like, oh, you're not getting your fruits and vegetables and your fiber. Guess what? I'm going to give you a little tip here, that fiber is indigestible. The reason you put fiber in your body is to get rid of the shit that your body can't digest, going through your gut and out your colon and out into the toilet, is basically what fiber is for. Yeah, do you need fruits and vegetables? I don't know. Am I missing them? Not really. Will I keep going with this one? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's very close to Christmas right now, and I am going to be going to my sister's for Christmas Eve. And if you're watching this, hopefully you're going to make me some fish that without any breading on it, because that would be awesome. But I digress. Now, does the carnivore diet work? I think it does. It worked for me. Am I going to maintain it? I think I'm going to keep going with it. I have no reason to stop. I feel fantastic. Yeah, I think this is a good thing. So yeah, so you guys saw the before picture. So here's an after picture. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, other than that, if you guys are on carnivore and if you want to talk about it with me, shoot me a message, whatever. If you want to get any advice, there's tons of people in the description to follow. They'll follow you. You can ask me anything you want. I feel fantastic. So that's about it. I just wanted to talk to you guys about the challenge that I did, and I think I'm going to do it. Does it work? Does carnivore work? It sure does.